Good morning, children. Children, today we are once again with the chapter People as a Resource. Hope all of you are fresh and you have opened your books. Children, when I start the lesson, please, all of you, if you have your books, please open it because there are important points that you have to underline and you have to follow. So, children, in a previous class, we discussed about how people living in a country or how population of a country can be converted into asset of a country, or how population of a country can be asset also and a liability also. We also discussed the meaning of the word asset. Asset means property of a nation. If people of a country are converted into asset, they earn for the country, they contribute for the development of a country. And the population can only become an asset when education, training, health and skill is inculcated in them. We also discussed about the liability. Liability means the responsibility of the nation. The burden, they are just like a burden on a nation. They don't contribute to the development of a country. Children, we discussed about the two stories about the two boys living in the same village, that is Sakal and Vilas. Sakal, he got education, he got a good job, his father contributed in providing him education, so he got a job, he became a software engineer. He earned for himself also, for his family also, for a firm in which he worked, and he contributed to the development of the nation. So children, the parents, those who contribute, those who invest in education of the children, their children become an asset for them also and for the nation also. They earn for themselves also, for their family, and they contribute to the development of the nation. Children, you can take your example also. Your parents are investing in you. At present, they are sending you to a good school. In future, they'll send you to good colleges. And when you will grow up, you will earn for yourself, for your family, and for the nation also. So what you will become, children? You will become the asset for a nation who will contribute for the development of the country. And you see the children, those who are living around you, what you're seeing, the children of your maidservant or the poor people who live all around you, who do not contribute to the development of the nation because their parents don't invest in their education. They don't send them to school. So what will happen? They will be a burden to a nation. They will never earn for a nation. So these are the two concepts of asset and liability. So the population of a country are asset also and liability also. Liability means responsibility of the nation, burden on the nation. To justify this point, we discussed the story of Sakal and Vilas. So these were the points that we discussed in the previous class. And today we'll proceed with the next part of the chapter. The chapter is various economic activities done by man and woman in a country. Now children, before starting this, let me clarify to you what is meaning of the term economic activities. Children, economic activities are those activities which are done with the purpose of earning income or which gives income to a person or a country. Or economic activities, when a person does with the aim of earning income, naturally by doing economic activity, what happens? Production takes place in a country. Production of goods and services. And that production leads to development of a nation. So economic activities are those activities which are done with the purpose of earning income. Children, you can take example that when you wake up early in the morning, what you see? Everything has started. Different people start going to their offices. The people, those who sell vegetables, they go in the market. The people, those who do business, they go in their offices. The teachers, those who are working in the school, they go to their schools. Various people, they go to their, you would have seen your father, he goes to his office. For what purpose they go? They go for earning income. So the economic activity starts from the starting of the day itself. Nobody can prosper, nobody can develop, no production can take place in country without doing any economic activity. So children, it is clear that what is economic activity? Economic activity is activity which is done with the purpose of earning income. And with economic activity, what happens? Production of goods and services takes place. So this is known as what? Economic activity. Now children, this economic activity is divided into three categories. First is, these economic activities are divided into three categories. They are done in three sectors. The first sector is primary sector, the second is secondary sector, and third is tertiary sector. Children, please listen these three things very with attention, because this is repeated in class 10th also. Primary, secondary and tertiary sector. If your base will not be clear in class 9, it will be very difficult for you to understand in class 10. The same topic is repeated with more details in class 10. So please try to understand what is primary sector, what is secondary sector, and what is tertiary sector. Now let us first start with primary sector. Children, while teaching you in first lesson of story of Palampur, I had explained you regarding the factors of production. And in the factors of production, I told you regarding the first factor of production, that is land. And in that I told you that land is a factor of production where production takes place in agricultural and related activities, which is directly concerned to the nature. Primary sector is also the same. In primary sector, those activities are done which are directly connected to nature, like agriculture, farming, fishing. These type of activity which are related to natural resources, they are done in primary sector. And as it is connected to agriculture and farming, the second name of primary sector is agriculture and related sector. This question many a times come in your exam, that what is the second name of primary sector, or what primary sector is also known as? The answer will be primary sector is also known as agricultural and related sector. So children, try to understand that in primary sector, each and everything which is related to nature is done. You can also say that mostly raw materials are produced in primary sector. So first we have discussed primary sector. Second name of primary sector is agricultural sector. You can note down also children, if you have taken out your copy, this can come in your exam. Now, the second is secondary sector. Now children, mostly you see that the raw materials comes from primary sector. What are raw materials? Raw materials are those materials which are used for producing any final product. For example, if you are producing clothes, cotton is a raw material which is used in producing clothes. If you are producing bricks, mud is a raw material which is used in producing bricks. If you are producing sugar, sugarcane is a raw material which is used in producing sugar. So children, see here, sugarcane, then cotton, then mud, all these things are available from where? They are available from primary sector because they are directly connected to nature. So these raw materials which comes from primary sector, they are processed and manufactured in which sector? Secondary sector. For example, the cotton which comes from primary sector, it is converted into textile industries in secondary sector. The mud which comes from primary sector, it is processed into brick in a brick factory. The sugar cane that comes from primary sector, it is converted into sugar in secondary sector. It is manufactured with the help of machines, and that is why secondary sector is also known as manufacturing sector or industrial sector. This question can also come in exam, that what is the second name of secondary sector? You will write the answer. The second name of secondary sector is industrial sector or manufacturing sector. So children, we have discussed the two sectors, that is primary sector and secondary sector. Now the third sector, that is tertiary sector. This is very important sector. Without the existence of tertiary sector, neither primary sector or secondary sector can flourish or develop. They have to take support of tertiary sector for their existence. Now children would be thinking that what is the tertiary sector? Tertiary sector is service sector. Service means which provides services to these two sectors. I will explain you with giving you example. For example, if sugarcane which is produced in the villages, can a sugarcane producer lift all the sugarcane on his head and take to the secondary sector? It is not possible. For transporting sugarcane from primary sector to secondary sector, what is required? Means of transportation, isn't it? Then many things like means of transportations and many other services, people those who are living in villages, how they can go in the urban areas. For that, what is required? Transportation is required, isn't it? So transportation, the things which are produced in secondary sector, suppose in a factory sugar is produced or any other thing is produced, where they will keep? For storing, what is required? Warehouse or godowns are required. Nowadays, people do insurance. So insurance, transportation, education, then banking, various other services. They are known as service sector. So if means of transportation and communication, advertisement, all these things are not there, whatever is produced in primary and secondary sector is useless. Children, you know nowadays that this is the age of advertisement and marketing. If marketing is not done by different industries, what will happen? The products will not be sold in the market. So this advertisement is also known as the service sector. Service means any sector which provides services to the people. So if support of service is not there, primary and secondary sector can never develop. In short, we can say that all these three sectors, primary, secondary and tertiary, are interdependent upon each other. If any one sector does not develop, it will affect the development and production of the other sector. Take for example, if there is a crop failure and sugarcane is not produced that year, what will happen? Machines can produce sugar by their own. What is required for production of sugar? Sugarcane is required. So naturally, if sugarcane production will go in downfall, what will happen? It will affect the production of sugar. If cotton is not produced in primary sector, automatically clothes can be produced. It will affect the production of cloth. In the same way, if machines are not there, if factories are not there, industries are not there, what will happen? If they will not be converted into finished product, what will happen? We consumers will not get anything to consume. Can we wear clothes directly of cotton? Can we just consume sugarcane? We need sugar also. So, primary and secondary sector, they are interdependent upon each other. And lastly, if service is not there, if means of transportation is not there, warehousing is not there, insurance is not there, what will happen? The production will remain as it is. It will not reach to us. So we can say in short that both primary, secondary and tertiary sector are interdependent upon each other. And for the development of a nation, it is required that all these three sectors, they produce, they develop properly. So economic activities is concerned with the three sectors, primary, secondary and tertiary. So children, this is very important. In exam, the questions can come that separately question can come. What is primary sector? Explain with example. Note down the questions while I am telling. And afterwards, you are telling that I am not giving you questions. I am giving you questions while teaching you the topic. Just if you have taken out your book, just note down the questions. The question can come that what is primary sector and give some examples. Next question can also come that what is secondary sector? Explain it with the help of example. The third question can come, define service sector and give examples. Questions can come separately also for 3 marks, and it can come like this also, differentiate between primary, secondary and tertiary sector. In this you have to define all the 3 sectors and the examples you have to discuss. So questions can come in different ways. It can also come that define economic activities and discuss its types. So you should be ready for each and every answer. So today we have discussed what is primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Now in economic activities, these economic activities are divided into two types. There are two types of economic activities. First is market activity and second is non-market activity. Now children, try to understand the difference between market activity and non-market activity. Market activity are those activities which are done with the purpose of earning income. And non-market activity are those activities which are done for self-satisfaction or social work. By definition, you will not understand. I will give you example so that it becomes clear to you. I will give you my example itself. Children, I am coming to school, I am teaching you, and in return what I am getting? Salary. School is giving me salary. So I am getting money in return. So my activity is economic activity. But children, if the same, I go home and then I teach to my children. Do my children, they give any return or any money to me? They don't give me. So if I'm teaching you in school, return if I'm getting salary, my activity is economic activity, market activity. And when I'm teaching to my children, then this activity becomes non-market activity. I can give you many examples. Another example also you can give. Suppose if you are having a nursery at your home in your garden and you are having the hobby of gardening. Just you like gardening and you enjoy it. That activity of keeping a nursery, doing gardening, it is non-economic or non-market activity. But if you decide a day that now it is enough, this hobby I don't want, I want to sell these plants in the market, and you start the business of nursery and you sell your plants in the market. Now that activity will be converted into what? Market activity, because by selling these plants in a nursery, what you get? You get money. So now that will be converted into what? Market activity. I'll give you other example also. Suppose a farmer, he produces food grains in his farm, and from that food grains he keeps the maximum amount for his self-consumption and he does not sell it. He says that I'll keep it for my self-consumption. I had explained you in the story of Palampur. As he is a small farmer, he does not have any food grains for sale and he keeps everything for his self-consumption. So that activity will be what? Non-market activity, because he does not sell anything in the market. But now if he starts using irrigation facilities, his agriculture production increases. What he does? He sells the same food grains, the surplus food grains in the market, and in return he gets money. Now this activity will be market activity. Now children, this is the difference between market activity and non-market activity. Now these are the type of economic activities. This question also comes in exam many a times. The differentiate between market activity and non-market activity. And to write this answer, you have to just define it and then give example. So children, it is clear all the points to you? If it is clear, I'll give you a list of questions, you note down, and in your copy you have to write answers to these questions. I have taught you, I have given you the questions while teaching also, but once again I will repeat. So in the first question that can come from this portion is, what is economic activity and what are the different types of economic activities? This question can also come in different form, that differentiate between primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Okay. Now the next question that can come is, differentiate between market activity and non-market activity. So if in exam these questions can come and you write in your copy. And children, after every part, I've told you that suppose I've taught you 1 or 2 pages or 2 or 3 paragraphs. Suppose today I've taught you different sectors, primary, secondary and tertiary. From that portion, at least you have to find out 5 to 6 minimum or maximum 10 short questions, that is multiple choice, and you have to write in your copy. And after that, you have to find out the answers also and you have to post it. That will be your homework. I am giving you this homework of short questions because by doing this homework, at least you can go through what I have taught you. And if you have any confusion, you can ask me after the video. So for today it is enough. In my next class, we'll proceed with how human resources, human beings can be converted into human resources, and we'll start with the term education. So for today it is enough. We'll continue in our next class. Thank you, children.